listeners, I welcome you all to this video which is based on the 9th module of the online course on skill development of the youths and their livelihood. In the previous modules, you have learned the basic concept of skill, importance and relevance of recognition of power learning, and other various provisions of NSQF, etc. In this module, let us discuss one of the important issues which is very much relevant to know in the 21st century, that is sustainable development goals and lifelong learning. Through this module, an attempt has been made to provide an idea of sustainable development goals and lifelong learning, to identify the needs and relevance of lifelong learning opportunities in the 21st century, to highlight the importance of MOOCs, that is massive open online courses, as an avenue for lifelong learning opportunities in order to ensure the sustainable economy. In the 21st century, the policymakers are discussing how education should be made skill-oriented, which would develop and strengthen the capabilities of the people and make them productive citizens in future. Sustainable education that follows the inclusive and non-discriminatory pedagogy is the only way that provides the basic knowledge, training and relevant skills to the people and make the citizens productive in the real sense. So, sustainable education, which actually allows every human being to acquire the knowledge, skills, attitudes and the values necessary to save a sustainable future, which is the need of the hour. Sustainable education can only lead towards sustainable development, where the basic principle is to develop the well-being of both the planet and its people. Therefore, the basic philosophy of sustainable education is to bring long-term benefits and welfare to all, and also prepare the learners or the people for a sustainable living or for a better living. Actually, when was the Sustainable Development Goal implemented? Acknowledging the needs for sustainable development through sustainable education, the heads of the states and the government and the high representatives in the meeting at United Nations headquarters in New York on 25th September 2015 adopted the document titled Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The idea was to adopt a new set of global sustainable development goals which would transform the world in the next 15 years. There are 17 goals to be achieved by 2030 for sustainable development. With regard to education, there is a specific goal, that is goal 4, where there is a target to achieve the inclusive and equitable quality education and to promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. One of the objectives of the goal is to focus on the acquisition of foundational and higher order skills, greater and more equitable access to technical and vocational education, training and higher education, training throughout life, and the acquisition of knowledge, skills and values needed to be functional so that it would contribute to society. If we look at how the goal 4 of Sustainable Development Goal is related to lifelong learning opportunities, actually the basic focus of Sustainable Development Goal 4 is lifelong learning opportunities for all, which comprises all learning activities undertaken throughout life with the aim of improving knowledge, skills and competencies within personal, civic, social and employment related perspective. Besides, the entire educational transition of the world have become techno-based, where there is the demand for equipping the adults with necessary digital skills, which are defined as a range of abilities to use digital devices, communication application, and networks to access and manage information. This modern context have facilitated to a great extent facilitated opportunities to a great extent to the people to create and share digital contents, communication and collaborate and solve problems for effective and creative self-fulfillment in life, learning, work and social activities at large. Besides, it has been increasingly being felt that everyone should be well equipped with digital skills, which are the prerequisite for getting jobs and livelihood in the digital economy of the 21st century. The utilizations of online learning as well as distance and open learning has made learning truly global. Along with this, the whole pedagogy of education is to make people functionally literate and digitally skilled. It is because people want such education that ensure better sustenance of living. Therefore, the entire education system is converted from traditional education system to independent ITC-based learning system. This kind of education would help the learners to possess the relevant digital skills that would further help to promote inclusive and equitable education and lifelong learning. Again, the idea of sustainable education should be designed in such a way that it helps the people or the learners designed in such a way that it helps to reduce the inequalities between haves and have-nots, the gender divides, and while also keeping the learners up to date and educationally competent on the basis of their learned skills. Even in the context of India, the Ministry of Human Resource Development has been putting more and more emphasis on developing necessary skills among the learners. UGC also has given more emphasis on developing the necessary skills among the learners, as they need to be policed throughout their working life. These skills are necessary not only for securing a job but also for ensuring personal development in various ways. In fact, the appropriate application of knowledge in some emerging areas such as agriculture and other manufacturing areas can play a major role in providing a competitive edge to the Indian economy in the global market. Besides, for promoting and facilitating sustainable education or lifelong learning opportunities, various educational pedagogical techniques or methods are evolving in a massive way so that anyone can access the world-class education at his or her own place or space or pace. In this context, in the modern industrial era, the modern interventions like open educational resources and the massive open online courses have provided the platform for open up the minds of people hungry of knowledge. The higher educational institutions, mostly the open universities and distance learning institutions, has the flexibility to equip the young people with relevant and that prepare with the relevant skills that prepare all the people of the nation to become responsible citizens who value a democratic pluralistic society. Again, the Human Resource Development Ministry, Government of India, introduced a study web of active learning for young aspiring minds or SWAYAM, where teachers from institutions like the IITs, IIMs and central universities as well as the state universities have been offering online courses to the citizens of India. In fact, thanks to this platform for which today we are getting the scope for offering this course to you all, In order to ensure the quality of the contents produced and delivered through SWAYAM, 9 national coordinators have been appointed. They are NPTEL for engineering, UGC for postgraduate education, CEC, that is the Consortium for Educational Communication for Undergraduate Education, NCRT and NIOS for school education, IGNU for out-of-school students, IIMB for management studies, AICTE for technical education, NITA for teachers training and research. In the first phase, courses in areas of engineering education, social sciences, energy, management, basic sciences were offered. Besides, it has been stated that at least 40% materials from the total number of courses by an Indian university should be released in the form of MOOC. Which is recommended by the UGC Regulation 2021 for the fast mobilization and dissemination of knowledge and information among the masses. Another recommendation is that all Indian universities should develop the learning management system and release their OER's material as MOOCs in the SWAYAM platform for making education more vibrant and sustainable. Therefore, MOOCs for or open courses are the avenues for providing lifelong learning opportunities in the 21st century. As you know, India is a country with a rich demographic dividend because nearly 54% of the population is under the age group of 25 and 66% under the age of 35. But in the fact is that the adult literacy rate is not more than 70% at the all India level. Again, if we consider the percentage of population with at least some secondary education above the age of 25 and older, it seems that there are huge disparities between the sexes in India, as female constitute about 40% and male not more than 65%. So in addition to that, in case of labor force participation rate, the percentage of male is 78.8% and female is around 28%. So, therefore, this data actually proved that there is a lack of adequate skill among the people, most specifically the adult learners, for securing their required livelihood opportunities. However, in the 21st century, even in India, it is being felt that everyone should be well equipped with digital skills as the prerequisite for getting jobs and livelihood in the digital economy. Another fact is that when we talk about the quality higher education, access to higher education is still a dream for millions of people residing in the world. Besides the gross enrollment ratio, the need of required higher educational avenues or institutions set up against the demand of the population, achievement of global learning, etc., equally by the people in rural and urban areas, providing equal access to learning, justice to cost-benefit analysis, research and innovation, use of educational technology, quality and adequate funds for expansion of higher education, modern up-to-date education to the internal migrants are actually some of the basic challenges that often create obstacles in the process of building a knowledge-enabled population in a country like India, which is one of the largest countries in Asia. So, apart from this, in a country like us, for example, there are some other ground realities, such as most of the people are deprived of their required livelihood in the government as well as private enterprises, which is due to the lack of required skills and competencies. Again, a major percentage of the major percentage of the people is general degree holders rather than professional and the vocational skill holders or takers. This has to be and to this has to an increase in the educated unemployment and also more than 90% population in India is engaged in the unorganized sector, which also indicates the poor level of workforce participation rate in various parts of India or in various sectors of India. So, the various forms of online learning such as MOOCs are expected to help the learners to possess the relevant digital skills and knowledge of a subject that would further help them to adopt inclusive, equitable education and lifelong learning. The UGC further came up with the choice-based credit system in which the students will have a choice to choose from the prescribed courses which are referred to as core, elective or minor or soft skill courses, and they can learn at their own pace, and the entire assessment is graded based on a credit system. So the idea of the government has been to promote academic excellence in the area of choice, to provide adequate flexibility in the choice of subjects, and to develop curriculum with student focus. Another recommendation of the UGC is that all the universities should develop an LMS. I have already mentioned the learning management system. Besides releasing their OER's material as MOOC in the SWAM platform as soon as possible for making education more vibrant and sustainable. Against this backdrop, the emergence of MOOCs in various relevant areas of knowledge provided by the different leading education institutions of India has been a welcoming step, as thousands of learners have been benefited by a large number of need-based free MOOCs. Besides, contributing to the knowledge movement in an unprecedented way, through the course offered under SWAM, credit transfer can also be made as dictated by the UGC Regulation 2016 as well as 2021. The intention of the government is to internalize and standardize the Indian education system from the class 8 to higher level across the whole country. Through this system or through the courses launched under SWAM platform, the transfer the credit among the learners of the different universities and institutions of the country is sought to be started so that the learners, irrespective of sex, age and place, are finally able to receive lifelong learning educational opportunities. However, to what extent the available MOOCs are actually contributing to the credit transfer in both conventional and ODL universities in India needs further discussion. So, in conclusion, we can say in the fourth industrial revolution era, where society is fast changing, there is the need of providing training and retraining facilities to the people, those who wants to upgrade their knowledge in order to live in the society with a sense of dignity and adequate ways of livelihood. In this context, lifelong learning opportunity is the most priority issue in the modern context. So now we come to the end of this module. In the next module, we shall discuss the MSMEs, government initiatives for establishing training institutions, etc. So see you again. Thank you.